Well, my name's Lauren, and this is my husband, Dan.
Hi.
And we have a museum in our home of haunted, cursed, weird, odd objects.
Actually, the house mistakenly turned into a museum. We didn't intend it to turn into a museum. It just kind of happened.
So we decided that we might want to bring a couple of our items from the house for you guys tonight.
I have a question for you guys, though. How many people in the room, show of hands, believe in the paranormal or anything supernatural?
Oh, you're outnumbered, honey.
Just like everyone in the room. I do not. But I want to. I just haven't gotten to it yet where I haven't had that believable experience. So hopefully this stuff, we figured we'd get enough of this stuff. It'd open a portal to hell, and boom, I'm going to figure it out. So far, nothing has happened, but we're helping people. So that's all that matters. So,
Go right into the first item?
you want to go right in the first item? Or
Let's
do
do
you wanna...
it. Okay.
So we'll start over here.
You don't want this, do you?
No, I'm all set.
I'm going to try and put this in
Get it? Everyone see this painting? I believe someone had yes, right over here, had was saying hello to you, right? Okay. Has anyone in the room ever heard of a crying boy painting?
Oh, you got a yes in the back over here and over here.
This is an original crying boy painting. Okay, well, we're going to go over that. Basically, a crying boy painting is Giovanni Bragolin was back in the 1950s, 1960s, he was an artist. That was his pen name. And he would paint street urchins, various orphans and things like that. And he would always exaggerate the eyes and make them sad because they were orphans to begin with. And so he did so. He made this group of paintings that became very popular over in England. They made prints and all kinds of strange things. People were just buying them like crazy. And something happened during the time that he was painting these. The orphanage burnt down to the ground with the orphans in it. Hence the curse, they say, started then. These paintings are responsible for the burnings to the ground of many houses that they've been in. I've got a phone call. We got a phone call from a art gallery, or art dealer out in Jersey, and said, listen, I've got an original Giovanni Bragolin. And I was like, are you kidding me? What do you want to do with it? She's like, well, I'm too afraid to put it into my gallery because I'm afraid my gallery is going to burn to the ground. And it's been sitting in my storage locker, but I'm getting some really good stuff in the storage locker, and now it's starting to freak me out. I'm afraid that's going to burn down too. Would you guys take it? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. So drive down to Jersey, pick it up, and she's like, listen, I'm really sorry it smells. And I'm like, what do you mean it smells? She's like,
I'd say try and smell it, but can't smell anything right now.
so I'm like, what do you mean it smells? And she's like, well, it smells like smoke. The estate that I got it to burned to the ground. So that's the curse of the crying boy. Even so recently, Zach Baggins was given a print, not an original, a print, and he almost did not take it into his museum because he was afraid it was going to burn to the ground. So, and to make this piece even more rare, he painted 3 crying girls, this being one of the 3 crying girls. So we took it into our house, and we keep it by a pellet stove. It likes fire, right? So let's keep it near the flames. Yeah. But Lauren has a little story to go along with that.
2 days after getting this in the house, I was in bed, he was off at work, and I distinctly heard a little girl say, Mama, twice. My children are in their 30s, 27, 25. Our grandkids don't live with us, so there's no kids in the house. Who said Mama?
And there's no neighbors. We live out in the middle of nowhere, so yeah. I don't know.
It just happened to coincide with her coming into the house.
So that's the story of the crying boy girl. So if she says anything to you, yeah.
But she does come home with us. I like having her at home.
Now, and the curse with the crying boy paintings, it only happens to those who have pertain ownership to the painting and keep them in their house. So everything that's here tonight, you guys are safe.
Me, not so much.
She's going home with it, so yeah, that's yeah. So that's the crying boy slash girl. Yes. There was I think it might have been the 90s, it might have been early 2000s, where they did do some kind of a testing where there was a flame. They said there might have been a flame retardant into the paint, but I really don't want to set it afire to find out.
No. Because when the house is burnt to the ground, the only thing that's left are the paintings.
Yeah.
And the prints.
That's the only thing that's left.
That's why she smelled like smoke when she came home.
Yeah. I know I believe the piece that they did do the analysis on was a print, not an original. So, yeah. The painter kind of, as quickly as he appeared, he disappeared. Because Braglin was his pen name. That was not his real name. It escapes me off the top of my head, but if you Google it, you'll find tons of stories. You'll also find various legends on the curse. You'll see the orphanage. You'll see one with a car that burnt. You'll see it just... What's true? We don't know. All we know is that it has a history. Legends. It has a history of fire. It has a history of devastation. It has a history of questionability. You know, I mean, what do you believe in? You know, all I know is it has a history. It has a history, and it's talking to her. Awesome. So that is the crying boy slash girl.
Is this one next?
Sure, let's go on to the next one. Now, not all objects have to be haunted to be, they have a past or a history, yeah. This piece here is a prison shiv. You can still see the blood on the gauze handle. This prison shiv was used in down in Atlanta, Georgia area, and it was a snitch. Snitches get stitches. So basically what they did is they slit his throat and then gutted him. Now, this went into police evidence. In the evidence room, strange things started happening. Computer files started deleting and erasing and things like that. Things were getting misplaced, which my skeptical side says that could have been anything. That could have been, misplacement or whatnot. But the team was a little upset and things were happening. And you don't want your local police having a, problem and stuff like that. So they were looking to release it into hands where it wouldn't cause that problem. Hence, we got the phone call. Can you come and take it? Can you keep it in safe possessions? Now, we work with various exorcists, demonologists, and other paranormal teams as well when they come into objects that need to be housed, need to be protected out of reach of normal people, the public. The objects that we take in, we do not pertain ownership. They are basically on loan until they ever want them back, if they ever want them back. And we never charge for anything, but it's for us. It's educational. It's educational purposes. It's at the end of the day, it's safety. Whether or not I believe in it doesn't matter. It's those people that can sleep well at night afterwards. That's what matters to us. So yeah, that's the prison shiv. Not a nice object. No. Now, the next piece, we never know when we're going to get a call, who it's going to come from, when it's going to be, things like that. And where was I when this happened? I think I was out on a pick.
Yeah, you were with your brother.
Yeah, my brother and I, we were like the American pickers. We go out and we do picking and stuff like that. And this was like 2 weeks ago. We got a phone call, and he's like, hey, I'm looking for that Danny Radical guy. I'm like, yeah, what's up? My warranty's fine on my car. And, because, I get these phone calls all the time. Yeah, see? And I'm like, he's like, no, I hear you guys take those bad things. I'm like, yeah, what do you have? I need to know what we're going into. And he's like, well, can you be here in 2 hours? I can be there within an hour. You got to tell me what you have. So this is what he had. Like I said, this just came in. This is a human skull that was used in... If you bring it around, hold on one second.
Okay.
Let me go a little further with it, then we can bring it around. This was used in dark rituals. It goes a little further. What happened was they used it for sacrifices as well. Now you're wondering, how did they use it for sacrifices? They cut the side out and made a dagger, and they used it for sacrifices. Where that piece is, we're not sure, but the people that we got it from are working on trying to obtain it, so that way it can be housed as well. Yeah, if you want to bring that around, just be careful because it is
Attached.
Yeah. So.
We kind of think it's from an adolescent.
Yeah, it's definitely adolescent.
Smaller.
It's definitely smaller. Now, if anyone, if you're psychically inclined, if you feel anything from it, please, let us know or whatnot. I'm a skeptic. I don't feel anything. So your help is really, really crucial. Really? That's what you feel? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's my niece. It runs on my family.
See, and this is where Lauren and I come in really handy together because I'm a skeptic. She's a believer. So it's like the yin-yang effect. And me being a skeptic, that doesn't mean, like, if you tell me you saw a ghost, I'm not going to say, bull. No, I believe you, but why wasn't I there? Why wasn't I there? Come on. Haven't been to the right place at the right time. And I'm hoping to find that. I want to believe more than you can imagine. I've had strange things happen that I can't explain, but then again, am I just that stupid where I'm not scientific enough to figure it out? So it's like, and then I'm looking to get to that point where how many coincidences does it take where it's no longer coincidence? See, now here's the thing. I met up with a psychic, and the psychic told me, she's like, because I've been doing this before I met Lauren. I've been doing this for years. And she's like, do you know why you do this? I said, no, I have no idea. I just think it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of cool, and it helps people. She's like, you're a first blood protector. And I'm like, okay, all right. I kind of, all right, first blood, Native American, I get that. Protector, okay. Go a little further with that. And she's like, well, you probably work in healthcare. Me being a skeptic, that kind of blew my mind because I'm 18 years now in healthcare. And she's like, you're a protector. See, that's what you do. So I don't know what to make of that, but she's like, in that aspect, that's what you do. That's what you're meant to do. You don't even realize it. And that's why they don't affect you. So whether or not I believe, to me, doesn't really even matter. It's whether or not. Yeah, the phone calls that we get are just out of nowhere, and it's like, hey, you that Dan guy. So yeah, I guess it is drawn to me, drawn to us somehow, and it's like, so I don't know. We just protect them, and as long as the people that they were at can sleep well at night, I mean, Kenny and Karen can attest to it. Some of these houses, most of the houses that we investigate, Kenny and Karen, Zoe included, they're residential. We do a lot of residential cases, and whether or not I believe it doesn't matter. What matters to me is that little girl who's been tormented by that ghostly thing that subsequently matches up to the death certificate of the person in the, she can sleep good at night. Yeah. For me, that's all I need, and it's amazing. Yeah, and it's not just we go in and we find records. Kenny and Karen use their Wiccan backgrounds to do banishment rituals, and frickin' phenomenal success rate. I mean, Zoe can attest. I mean, it's been really amazing. Yeah. So I don't have to believe in it. I will hopefully eventually get to that point where I'm no longer skeptic. But she.
It's never going to happen.
Well, why not?
Because I know you too well.
It may someday.
No. You were pushed down a hallway.
I wasn't pushed. I may have stumbled. Explain it.
Okay. I know. Uh-huh.
True. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True.
So we went to the Shanley Hotel, and it was our first time there. Danny's up on the second floor with our big rig. You guys will understand the big rigs.
Big shoulder rig.
With a big, huge light on top that Danny makes sure everything's nice and tight and secure. He's walking down the hallway by the Esther room, and all of a sudden he feels like somebody's rushing past him. The light that was on top of the camera doesn't just go falling, it goes like this. He comes running up, he says, "Oh, you're never going to believe, I think I got pushed in the hallway." "No, I don't think so." I think he kept going on and on.
I may have stumbled.
Uh-huh. So later on in the night, we went up to the third floor, and these guys can attest to it. We asked the question, who pushed Danny? Esther.
That's the word that came up. Yeah, Esther.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I may have stumbled.
I'm never going to win.
The time will come. The time will come, and I can't wait for it.
All right, so which one do you want to do next?
We'll go to the tools here. Now,
Okay.
again, not all things have to be haunted or cursed in order to attract energies. For instance, sometimes a tool can trigger torment and pain for years and years down the road. For instance,
Don't do it.
lobotomy tools. Frontal lobotomy. Walter Freeman. He's the creator of the frontal lobotomy. Basically what happened, you could do a single or you could do a double. It goes right here. Just like that. And one quick little, that was it. Sometimes they would go over to the other one, do the same thing, but that was the procedure. And if it went well, all you had was a black guy. And you drooled for the rest of your life, but that's the side effect. Now, these tools itself may not have caused haunt and damage and things like that, but imagine the people that had to live with the outcome of what these tools brought in those institutions. And Lauren actually has a side note on the Freeman tools.
Yes, so first off, Dr. Walter Jackson Freeman is the doctor who did the Kennedy sisters' lobotomy.
He used to have a bus that he would drive around. He would drive the bus around country and just give lobotomies. Nice guy.
But the other thing is Danny's had these long before we met. And I recently found my birth family. And my birth family's last name is Freeman. So I looked up a picture of Mr. Dr. Walter Jackson Freeman, and I had a picture of my birth father.
She had never met her birth parents before. So it was a little bit of research, and she found out, and we're in the process of trying to figure it out now, but there's a distinct similarity between her father and Walter Freeman.
So I'll bring it around, but this is my father.
And again, this is one sound you don't want to hear. Sorry about that. She hates it. There is a definite similarity between the two. It's crazy. It's crazy. So what do you... Oh, I've been collecting for years and bringing stuff in the house for years. There's stuff in our attic that she has never even seen before. What's that? Oh, no, she doesn't really want to go up there, yeah. There's a mummified head. There's all kinds of crazy stuff up there. Legally obtained. I have to put that out there. Okay, yeah, see. And the funny thing is, like, people say, like, well, isn't it illegal to own, like, a body part, like a human skull or something? No, it's not. There's 3 states where it's illegal. Tennessee, Georgia, and Louisiana. Those are the 3. But, say, like, in Massachusetts, totally legal to have one of these, but it's illegal to have a raven's feather, a crow feather. Totally illegal. You can be convicted for having a crow's feather because of the Migratory Bird Act. crazy, but that's okay. You leave it. You leave it. Supposedly, yes. If you find a dolphin bone at the beach and you don't call maritime and report it and you take it home, that's federal time. The migratory bird action is a very strict. They're afraid that people were going to pretty much harvest birds for, you know, different things. It would go from a crow to an eagle to a bald eagle, and it just, you know, it's a precaution. But at the same time, but this is legal. Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's the world we live in. I don't get it sometimes, but yeah, that's how it goes. It's strange. Now the thing is, if you buy European crow feathers, that's legal. Yeah, the laws are incredible and strange, and it's hard to keep track of them all. But so yeah, that's the you went around everywhere.
Yes.
That's the lobotomy tools. These are just the tip of the iceberg. We have hundreds and hundreds of items that we never know what we're going to get called for next.
There are quite a few items in the house that I have never seen.
Yeah.
We've been together for 5 years, and I haven't
She's
seen any
never
of
been
them.
in the attic. There's things in there that, yeah, things that I've probably even forgotten about.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. We're getting to that one.
Now, there is one piece that we didn't bring here tonight that we cannot keep in the house. It is a painting of Mephistopheles. And this painting of Mephistopheles, the artist painted it with his own blood as he was dying, committed suicide. Slit the correct way, started painting Mephistopheles in his own blood, bled out, and he died. Now, this painting was brought to me by a family who said, listen, this is what happened. It's crazy stuff is happening. Will you house it? It can't stay in our house. Not because I don't like it, not because she don't like it. Our dog doesn't like it. Now, our dog will not eat for 3 days. Well, it was only in the house for 3 days, so it might have been longer. But for those 3 days, she wouldn't eat until we removed it from the house. Whether or not it's the power behind it or the curse behind it, I can't say for sure, but the skeptic in me says, maybe she smells the blood.
And then the person in me is saying, but he also has blood Rorschach tests
Rorschach
up on
tests.
up on the wall.
True. She's
So-
okay with those.
Exactly. So
She's
I don't
okay
think
with
it's the
those.
blood.
So, I don't know. But yeah, so that's the one thing that's not allowed in the house because it upsets my dog, our dog. And we can't have, if someone's going to be upset, we can't. We can
Rather be one
contain
of
it.
us.
We'll contain it, but not in the house.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next piece.
All right. So, not this one.
This one.
Has anybody ever heard of the golden eagle?
Nobody's heard of the golden eagle. Well, we're going to rectify that tonight.
Yes.
The golden eagle. If you Google golden eagle, you'll find the story on golden eagle. Golden eagle was a police car from Old Orchard Beach, Maine. It was a 1964 Dodge 330, responsible for 32 deaths. Old Orchard Beach, Maine, 1960s. Stephen King. They say it was the inspiration for Christine. That's what they're saying. So, Golden Eagle started really young in its infancy and started killing people during the assembly line. A couple people died, and then it went to the police, and the doors would open as they were turning corners, and they would fall out, get hurt. The hood would come down, hit them in the head, break their fingers, all kinds of crazy stuff, and people would get injured to the point of where people were dying. So they said it was after, it took them a little while, it took them quite a few years. But they're like, the body counts, it's mounting up. We need to decommission the car. So they decommissioned the car, and it was purchased by what they called an eclectic witchy lady. Everyone has that one person in town who is like they're an herbalist and they don't go by the facto organization, so they're a witch. She purchased it. She never used it. She kept it in the yard, and for years and years and years, and it became that everyone has that haunted house. I dare you to go knock on the door. Well, it was the car. I dare you to go, touch the haunted car. So the kids would do that, and they would die within the next couple of days, and the body toll kept mounting and mounting and mounting, and one kid, presumably very normal. We just actually ran into one of his friends last weekend, which was a total shock.
It gave us the true story.
They come from Ultra Beach and knew of the legend very well. He went up to the car. He was dared to touch the car. He went and touched the car. He went home, grabbed a knife, murdered his entire family, the dog, and then burned the house down. He's currently in the Maine penitentiary serving life because of this. The original story that I heard was that he used a shotgun. Not true. This person went to high school with him and said no, and they're actually sending us the police report and photographs and stuff like that to go with the story. Yeah, and it just kept happening and happening to the point of where some Christian fundamentalists stepped in around 3 o'clock at night, and they stole the car. They said it was demonic, and it's hurting too many people. They came in and they stole it, and they partied it out. And they put it to various junkyards all throughout Maine so that way it would never hurt anybody again.
Yeah.
But a cursed car is a cursed car, right? I mean, whether it be in one piece or 1,500. Yeah. So, I get an email from a guy who wants to keep everything anonymous. He's like, hey, Golden Eagle, I hear you help people? I said, Golden Eagle? Isn't that like a killer car or something? He's like, yeah, that's, let's just say Christine. I was like, okay. So we're talking about it, and he's like, listen, I thought it was bull. I had it. I got it. I hung it on the junkyard in my office, and it was like, hey, Christine car. We poked fun at it. It was fun. It was a joke. He's like, I'm losing my business. We've had it for it was my father's business, and it's always been profitable. We're losing it. My wife left me. I'm dying of cancer. My kids want nothing to do with me, and their lives are in shambles. Everything this piece touches, or anyone that owns it, it falls apart. Would you be willing to come and take it off my hands? But there's a caveat. I'm like, okay, what's the deal? He's like, you can't know me, and I don't want to know any more about you. Okay, so how do we do this? He's like, I'll meet you at 2 o'clock in the morning on the side of Route 95.
Now, before you finish this, how many moms are in the room right now? How many moms are going, oh my God, what did you do?
On the side of Route 95, there's the very last exit before you get to Maine. Not exit, it's a rest area. It's actually a state liquor store. Yeah. I'll meet you there at 2 a.m. Park there and bring a box and a crucifix. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I'm willing to help. Yeah, no, not a problem. So I'm like, I tell my friends, hey, I got this piece coming in. I'm going to get it. And they're like, you're going at 2 a.m. at the side of a highway at a rest area. You got to be kidding. Bring someone with you. I said, no, if I bring someone with me, he won't part with it. It has to be totally anonymous. Yeah, I know. Not the smartest thing I ever did.
No.
But in my defense, I had a machete and a bag of Doritos. So everything was good, right? So I go there, and I'm sitting there in the parking lot. 2 o'clock comes. Nothing. 2:10. Nothing. Look in my rearview mirror, and all of a sudden, one of them, the flatbed record trucks, pulls in behind me. And on the door, they always have the name of the organization. Well, it was covered in a cardboard box and duct tape. So I'm sitting there, and I can't go forward now because there's the building. And this guy's behind me, and I'm like, oh, this is how I die. You know what? Maybe my friends were right. As I'm eating a Dorito. Oh, boy. So I get out of the car. he older man, overalls, jumps out. He's like, Dan? I'm like, yep. He's like, you know what this is? I said, yes. He's like, this is a gift. You cannot give it back to me. It is yours, and everything that comes with it is yours. Do you have the crucifix in a box? I said, yep. He had the thing chained on the back of the truck. It wasn't in with him. So I'm like, okay. So he gives it to me. I put it in the box, put the crucifix in the box, and I'm standing there and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, holy cow, this is a piece of golden eagle. I'm just relishing and like, holy crap, you know, what just happened? Where the hell did he go? He's getting on the highway. He's getting the hell out of there. I'm like, well, at least I didn't die, Dorito. So he ended up, from what I understand, dying horribly of cancer anyway, because he was so far into it. So I went and I took out a $1 million policy cancer with Aflac, and now she's just waiting patiently. Right? Yeah. So yeah, that's Golden Eagle. If you Google it, it's all on there. And Dodge 330 police car. Some say it was the inspiration for Christine. Now, yeah. Nothing bad has happened since I've had it. No, it goes into our. Most of the stuff is in our parlor. We've got like rows and rows and rows of bookcases and shelves and barrister bookcases.
Then a big couch and a big TV.
Yeah, and it's all just scattered around, and yeah, I don't sleep. I sleep.
I do.
I sleep maybe 3 or 4 hours a day. That's just the way I've always been. It has nothing to do with that. It's just, yeah.
He's not counting the time he sleeps on the couch, though.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in this box. He had it tied up on the back of his truck. He had me bring a box with a crucifix. I put the crucifix in the box and put the piece in the box, and then he got the hell out of there. Oh, I touch the item all the time. All these items I touch, I handle all the time. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. Yeah, and this is where that psychic came in, and she said it's the protector in you. That's the part you don't realize it. She mentioned something about some kind of druid, but I don't really know much about that. She did say that word. I don't know. I like to help people. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's my disbelief. Maybe it's, I really don't know. Like I said, all I know is if people can sleep well at night, and if I can help in any way, so be it. What's that? It was a white and gold type car, so that was just a nickname it was given. It was nicknamed Golden Eagle. Yeah, you can see pictures of it online. It's just old-fashioned 1964 police car with the one beacon on the top. Okay. The Mangler. Yes, the Mangler. I have never heard anything else from any other vehicle, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen or has happened. You know, I don't know. I know that from what I understand, Golden Eagle, you know, I mean, is what it is. Johnny has seen it.
Yes.
He kind of just stays away from our table when we're
Yeah.
there. But I got to tell you, he loves our Ouija boards.
Which is surprising.
He came back to our table like 4 or 5 times just to admire them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we make some that are the actual shape of a coffin. And he was just like, I've never seen one like that. That's so cool, brother. Yeah. So I don't know what to make of it, but yeah, it is interesting, you know. And like I said, we never know what the next call is going to be or when it's going to be. Sometimes it's a year between the next phone call. Sometimes it's minutes. I mean, It is what it is, but we're running out of room.
Like 2 years ago.
What's that? Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, if you know anybody that has a piece of that, let me know. I got a home for it. Right next to this guy.
Running out of room very, very quickly.
Yeah, our house is, we're outgrowing it, or it's outgrowing us, the contents.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
how do you say no? You know, when someone comes to you and they're crying and they're, I can't, I can't do that. I can't do that. If they're in distress, or I know, or even if they seem like they're in distress, you know, and you can't give it away. I can't. Oh well, this piece someone gave me here. You want this? You know, what's it gonna do over there? Whether or not I believe in it, you know. I mean, so it's like that's why stuff started going in the attic. Well, what we'd like to eventually do is get a bigger property and open up what we call a dead and breakfast,
Ooh.
where the museum is there and everything's safely contained, but you can go through it and hear all the stories.
I love to bake and cook.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And if you fly in, we'll pick you up in a hearse because we have hearses. We'll pick you up there and bring you back, but that's another story, another time. It hasn't happened yet, but
We're looking.
fingers crossed. Right. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. The last piece.
Yep. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah. Go
You
ahead.
hate this piece.
I hate this piece.
She hates this piece. A lot of people hate this piece. A
Your
lot of
brother
people-
hates that piece.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's tough. Okay. This piece here comes from the African Congo. This is an Nkisi Ndoji. Very rare for the fact that it has the nesting basket inside here. The basket isn't here. There are shells. There are all kinds of crazy stuff in here. Now, Nkisi means it's a vessel. It's a vessel. It's a containment that a spirit can use. Ndoji is a subspecies of Nkisi, aggressive. Every nail, every shard, every knot that's tied into it is a pact. It could be a pact for bad luck. It could be a pact for death. It could be, some say it could be a treaty, but not usually. This piece was said to have been responsible for 2 deaths. Revenge, it was a revenge death, and it had to do with land. I got a phone call. Come pick this piece up. And there's a few other items as well. So I'm like, okay, great. My brother and I being pickers. All right, cool. Let's go. He's with me. He's like, let's go do this. He had some Ouija boards. I collect Ouija boards. I make Ouija boards. So I'm like, oh, cool. We'll take these. You don't want them? You sure? Yeah. All right, cool. So I got the Ouija boards. And then there's the Nkisi. And my brother is a worse skeptic than I am. He doesn't believe in it. There's no way you can change his mind that it's true. He doesn't care what you say. It's not true. It's bunkus. So he's like, it's very light. He's like, I got it. I'll grab it. I said, no. Let me take the Nkisi. He's like, come on. You know me. This stuff is bull. I've got it. You got your hands full of Ouija boards. All right, cool. So he grabs it. He's walking with it. He's got it right here. He's walking with it. He's like, he stops me. We're about from here to the back wall from the car. And he's like, what was this you said again? He's like, because this better not be a frickin' fertility doll. My wife and I are done with it. I said, well, what makes you think it was a fertility doll? He's like, I got a burning right here from where it's resting on me. And I was like, no, it's not. Why don't you give that to me? He's like, no. I got it. But if it's a fertility doll, I'm going to kick your butt, man. 2 weeks later, you got pancreatic cancer.
But it was a female form of pancreatic cancer.
Very, very rare, to the point where Dana-Farber had him sign a release so that they could contain and study this type of cancer. It only happens in adolescent teens. female teens. So of course, I went up to him and said, "I told you, a little girl." But on a good note, right? We're on a bad note right now. We're gonna go to the positive side. His cancer was pancreatic. Pancreatic, you think, in my head, when I think pancreatic, I think Patrick Swayze. It's the end, you know. It was on the rear side of his pancreas. It was operable. No chemo, no nothing. They went in, they cut it out, and that was it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't easy. It was a long recovery period, and I wish that on nobody, but he had no chemo, and to this day, it's been 4 years, 3 years,
3 years,
3 years, and he still gets scanned all the time, and he is still cancer free, but will not go near that damn thing. You know,
now you understand why I won't touch it.
Yeah. So that's the Inkisi.
That's why I stand over here.
Yeah, it's made out of old iron. They call it ironwood, African ironwood, and yeah, it's something. I mean, we actually had to put a warning on our front door that says, if you are very religious or psychically inclined, be known that there are supposed cursed and haunted items in the house. But doing that, we freaked out the UPS guy, so now he throws, he won't come to the house anymore, so he just throws the packages at the house, and we found one under a car last week.
Under my car, yeah.
I'm like, where's that package? It says it was here. I was like, oh, let's go hunting. We go out there, it was under her car, so we inadvertently, I mean, I don't know why. We've got a cooling casket on our porch.
12-foot skeleton on the patio.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah.
Skeleton with what do you call it?
But
electric chair on the front of the patio.
This is what we do. We never know what the call is going to be. We never know where we're going to go.
It's an adventure.
It's every day is an adventure, and I like to think that we're helping people somehow, some way.
But the other thing is that if at any time anybody who gave these items to us, like if the art dealer calls and says, "Hey, I kind of want that back," it's all yours.
It's yours, but remember why you gave it to us.
Yeah.
And we're here if you ever need to get rid of it again.
Yeah.
Everything, we do not retain ownership. We just maintain housing to keep everybody safe. And that's what we do. So far, no. Everyone's dropped stuff off and ran in the other direction.
Yeah.
You know, they don't call to check up on it or anything. It's just, catch you later. Good luck.
But the other thing is, too, is not everything is... bleh.
True. Not everything is cursed and haunted as well. I mean...
it would have been better if you said, bleh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have in our collection a human tail.
I wasn't going with that.
Well, that's where I was going. Where were you going?
I was going with Julia.
Oh, Julia. Well, that's cursed.
But it's cute.
It's cute, but it's deadly.
It's a chair that looks like a bunny.
Right.
And her name is Julia. So.
I got a call from a exorcist, and he had a problem with his chair. Well, the chair was the problem in the house. A little girl was having a tea party, and she choked to death as she was sitting on it with a little piece of thing, and supposedly the chair retains that. But I was going with the human tail, which is totally unhaunted. So, yeah, a human tail, right? So, this guy's got a human tail, and his fiance, he's from Germany, his fiance is like, "I love you, we've been together forever, but I'm not marrying you until you get that thing snipped." So, like, I got a hold of this guy, and I was like, "Hey, I read your story. I'll help you pay for the surgery if I can have the tail."
Say it.
So I think that's the only legal way you can obtain a piece of tail. Right. Thank you.
Does anybody
Any
have...
quick questions?
Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Any questions?
Anybody?
We're all in awe.
Oh, okay. And if you would like to take photos, please feel free. Just,
Yeah,
we ask
that's
do
fine.
not touch anything, because we
Yeah.
want to bring all that bad stuff back with us, because we're just like that. But, okay, great. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you. So if they want to come up and take pictures, I'm more than welcome to.
I missed the part where you were talking about that, but
Crazy, right?
Guys,
Thanks, Lucky.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just not touching it, but no.
I don't think anything would happen to Ellen.
That's true. She's
A ley line.
Yeah. I do. I saw that you were coming this weekend. I was like, hey, Ashley's coming over. How feels? Okay, a lot of people.
Somebody, actually, Julie